They marched 100 people across my lawn, so I planted a hedge. My wife and I own 2 acres in a quiet town. We moved here in 2008 after leaving Manhattan, looking for peace and space. Our home is a Victorian built in 1887, surrounded by gardens my wife lovingly maintained. For 7 years, everything was calm. We were friendly with the small church next door, waved to parishioners, and even supported their fundraisers. Then in 2015, they hired Reverend David Callahan. He came from a big city parish, full of ideas about expanding the church's presence. Within months, he added extra Sunday services, midweek events, and special programs that drew large crowds. At first, we didn't mind, until the parking lot overflowed. Then people started cutting across our property. What began as a few people taking a shortcut soon grew into dozens, then practically the entire congregation. Every Sunday, a steady stream marched diagonally across our lawn. They trampled flowers, created a dirt path, left coffee cups on the grass, and some even let their dogs relieve themselves along our fence. I approached Reverend Callahan one morning. "Your congregation is crossing our yard. It's damaging the landscaping. Could you please ask them to use the sidewalk?" He smiled politely. "Oh, absolutely. I'll mention it." The next week, even more people cut through. I called him again. "It's getting worse." He sighed. "I mentioned it, but people walk where it's convenient. Consider it a blessing." A blessing. That's what he called the damage happening to our home. So I contacted my attorney, Patricia McGovern. After reviewing everything, she said, "This is trespass. A church doesn't get special permission to ignore property lines." She sent a formal letter demanding the trespassing stop. The church's lawyer replied with a claim that the path was a historic pedestrian right-of-way. There was zero evidence of that, nothing in any deed or record. So we filed a lawsuit. 12 weeks later, in court, Judge Robert Chen reviewed everything and ruled firmly. There is no easement, no historic path. The church is infringing on the plaintiff's property. He ordered them to stop the trespassing and install signs within 14 days. 14 days passed. Nothing changed. So on day 15, I hired landscapers. We planted a 6-foot hedge along the entire Church Avenue side and installed locking iron gates at both corners. The next Sunday, the crowd stopped, confused, and finally used the sidewalk. The church claimed our hedge was a spite fence. Judge Chen dismissed it, ordered them to pay our legal fees, and awarded $4,200 for repairs.